Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest edition of Radio Kart. I'm Joseph Rapp.
I'm Nelson Ulinski. We apologize for starting slightly late today, but we've got a really good review episode looking back at the Quincy Grand Prix, which was just last weekend, as well as looking ahead to the 206 Cup run at the 61 Kartway and a special summer series being hosted at Davenport Kartway.
Yes, it's an exciting week of racing, Nelson. A total of 5 races over the course of about 9 days. It's jam-packed full of action, and we've got quite the exciting show. First of all, let's jump into Quincy, review that, because you and me went down, and I think we both had a blast.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't had that much fun in a kart anywhere in ages, really. I mean, there's nothing quite like the park at Quincy. That's such a unique track, which we've said that leading up to the event, but after racing there and seeing it firsthand, it really is. It feels like a natural terrain road course, but with the danger and excitement of a street race like Elkhart or Rock Island.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that really made the event a lot of fun was that new surface pavement, really smooth track.
Yeah.
It really allowed it to be a safe race. But running through the park was quite the experience. I think we can all testify to, Nelson. I mean, you're going through 12 tricky corners, high speed in a lot of them. The jump, the first time I went over that, I nearly crapped my pants. I mean, holy cow, what an experience.
Yeah. I mean, you kept saying that when we went on the track walk on Friday. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pull myself at practically every corner, which, I mean, I didn't really. Maybe my bowels are just different than yours, I suppose.
Maybe they are.
But
maybe my bowels give me some booster power, though, because I think I finished like 2 positions ahead of you.
Yeah, but you got to remember that you didn't have to deal with a bent steering shaft or a broken seat, though.
Yeah, you raced with some serious balls on Sunday, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But speaking of racing with serious balls, I think Quincy in the Park has kind of taught us all that an event like that does require racing with a lot of courage. I think the racers did a fantastic job, though, all weekend, Nelson, of keeping the track in mind, respecting the track, respecting each other. I think that was a huge part in making the weekend a success.
Yeah, definitely, which you were talking about. You just said how, like, you needed balls, you needed bravery. It's like, but you also need to be smart. Mm-hmm. At Quincy, too. I mean, I don't think I've ever had my head on that much of a swivel at any race before. I was checking my left and right, going into every corner, turning my head 90 degrees both ways. And then not just that, but just simply kart positioning. Like, when you're following someone through the corner, you got to be like, well, okay, how are they going to enter this compared to how I'm going to enter this? Yeah. Do I want to be right behind them? How am I going to get a run? How am I going to keep this safe for the both of us? So really, if you're going to be fast at Quincy, you got to be both smart and you got to be brave.
Yeah, and as we said, the racers did a pretty good job of doing that all weekend long. I think one of the first things they told us in the drivers' meeting was this track will bite you. It's gonna be a tough track. You got to respect this thing, and for the most part, through the first 2, maybe 3 practice sessions. Guys took it easy, didn't push the limits too hard on a slick green track. And as we started easing our way into the weekend and people got in the groove, we really saw some great racing action and a lot of passing out there on the course. I mean, I think that the track was set up where with the draft you could easily make passes if you needed to and work your way up through the field. It was kind of a mixture of the speed of Rock Island and kind of the technicality that we saw maybe at Elkhart last year. There was a couple braking zones on the track for the 4-cycle karts, and then you really had to keep your speed up through a few of the corners. There was a flat-out left-hander in one part of the track. The carousel, I thought, was a pretty cool part of the track. All sorts of fun at the park. And the atmosphere around the race was pretty spectacular too.
Oh yeah, it really was. In fact, on Saturday, the second practice session, which was originally supposed to be a qualifying session, but timing wasn't cooperating, so it just treated that as a regular practice session. I threw a chain right at the start of that, so I actually ended up having to stand by my cart in the spectator area for the next 3 sessions before they could dispatch the truck to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to socialize down there with the fans, and yeah, it sounds like that everyone is just so happy to have this event back, not just the racers, but the spectators as well. This event is just such a huge part of Quincy.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Saturday, we went out there. There was quite a few fans out there. I remember one of the things going down the straightaway during, I think, second or third practice. Maybe this was because I had skipped breakfast, Nelson, but I could smell a barbecue going on as I went down the straightaway. I just thought, man, how cool that's all that stuff's going on. But then, I went to Elkhart last year, Nelson, and there was a huge turnout Saturday. And then things kind of fizzled out for Sunday, which was kind of disappointing because that was the main racing, the feature events that go on Sunday. At Quincy, we had a pretty good crowd on Saturday, which I was ecstatic about. And then Sunday, the masses came out to watch the race, which was really, really cool. I mean, the hillside in Turn 1 and Turn 2 was just filled with fans as far as the eye could see, really.
Yeah, and really, I also just want to add, too, it's not just the track. It really is the whole town, because I went out to eat Saturday night at this barbecue joint downtown, and there's this guy that used to race at Quincy. He stops me and is like, hey, are you racing at the park this weekend?
Yeah.
And, we got in this 5-10 minute talk about how karting has changed back from when he ran in the 80s till now, and how it's like, yes, it's changed, but, we're all still having fun and stuff. So not just the track, but really the whole town has embraced the event. So I think this Grand Prix is going to stick around for a long time. Yeah. Quincy is back, people.
Yeah, they had the Carter's party actually on Saturday night too. I didn't go to that, but I know our friend Nick went to it, and he said they had free entrees or whatever for racers and stuff, and free drinks. Then the Hy-Vee right across the street was a big sponsor of the event.
Oh yeah.
And every employee was wearing a Quincy Grand Prix T-shirt. They had been wearing them apparently for about a month, promoting the event, which was super cool. So. To see the community get behind an event and karting and back it like that was super awesome. We saw it at Elkhart last year, and we're seeing it in Quincy. Like you said, this event is definitely here to stay for a while, and the racing it provided was fantastic as well. So a few issues I think they need to fix, going into next year, but you expect that with any new event. Obviously, timing and scoring had some issues on Saturday, so
true.
Put them a little behind schedule, and then their scale was a little off at times.
Yeah.
So I think if they can get those couple things worked out and get their scheduling worked out, this race is only going to continue to grow. And we may see, like we saw back in the heyday in the park, like 600 entries they had back in the heyday. We may get up to 300, 400 next year if they put prize.
We were almost to 300 last weekend I hear, actually.
Yeah.
Now I will point out though that you were saying what they need to fix for next year with the timing. I will say that the people running this event adapted very well to any of the issues that they had. Because, there were storms in the area on Sunday that really threw a wrench into things. There was, of course, as Joseph said, the timing system was down on Saturday.
Yeah.
And, no, the folks in charge, they adapted really well. Mm-hmm. They were able to change the schedule as needed. And it didn't feel like you were waiting around or there was a lot of uncertainty. It was like, no, we're either still going to go ahead with this or we're just going to change how this is done. But no, everyone, you're still going to be doing what we've been doing. We're still going to do what we've been saying we're going to do.
Yeah.
Very professional, the way the event was put on.
I know for you this weekend, this was your first time with Flagman and Jason. I saw him at Elkhart last year, but what were your impressions when you came to get the green flag for the first time with Jason as your flagman on the weekend?
I thought, what a treat!
Yeah.
I guess this is pretty well. What a show! I guess.
Yeah.
This is pretty great. Why can't Fred do this at 61?
Well, Fred's a little older,
but Jason kind of is too, is he not?
Jason's a pretty young guy. He's in his 30s, I believe.
What are we talking, like 32 or 38?
Joseph? My gosh! Either way, he's younger than Fred. But,
okay.
I don't know if you saw this in the morning sessions. He put a smiley face up the one time, and then on Sunday morning he said "Good morning" on his whiteboard.
Yeah.
And then the thank you to Quincy throughout the day on Sunday I thought was really cool. Thanking the community. He actually dressed up as Gus Trader on Sunday. Was his outfit. Who was the original promoter of the event.
Yes, I saw that on Facebook. I mean, like, I was aware, I saw what he was wearing on Sunday, but post-event, I saw a post on Facebook about that.
Yeah.
And I thought that is a very nice touch to both the Trader family and the history of the event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really kind of tied everything together nicely, I thought. Connected kind of the old with the new, and I certainly think that the community members that had been to the park in previous years felt a connection there as well, probably with his attire. But with that, we do have some racers we wanted to highlight, getting some wins in some classes. The QC community was very well represented at the park. But you and me, Nelson, obviously, we had fairly strong runs.
Yeah.
You finished
12th.
12th. I finished 9th in both of my races. Nick Oakenfels finished, I believe it was 7th.
7th, okay.
I believe. So a very good run for him. Chad Peppers had a transponder issue at one point in the weekend. He finished around 8th in his medium race, had some issues. But then kind of the big guns we wanted to talk about. Tony Nielsen, obviously a stellar job, never disappoints. He got 3 gussies on the weekend, and just a fantastic job. One he'll probably never forget, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, and I think if you're gonna win at Quincy, winning at Quincy is gonna be special.
Yeah.
But to win after a 17-year absence of this event, and win 3 of them, that in of itself is quite the accomplishment.
Yeah. And he was all there, in every class he ran all day, really. I mean, he could have had another couple to add, I think, if he would have gotten, a little bit luckier in some scenarios or positioned himself a little differently. But 3 is spectacular. I would have been happy with a half of 1.
Yeah, exactly,
So that was my view on it. But then Michael Welsh, I saw a picture on Facebook of his, I believe it was in the master's class. He flipped over. Saw a picture of that. Pretty scary moment for him. But Welsh got a win in the Yamaha class after flipping over in that race. So he did a pretty good job this week in capturing Gussie. And then Michael Dittmer as well. Well, I think we all watched that Saturday sprint, and that was an impressive performance by Michael.
Which I know they only give out the Gussies on Sunday, but honestly, watching that, considering that he only had 8 laps to get past, 16 carts?
Yeah, I think it was 16 carts, yeah.
Yeah, only 8 laps to get past 16 carts? I don't know. I think they maybe need to give out an extra Gussie for that performance, to be honest.
He went from, it was dead last, all the way to the front. And he actually started pulling a little bit of a gap, if I remember, on the last lap. Just think of how far ahead he would have been if he would have started on pole. But it was an amazing performance, a great battle in the Yamaha class, as it always seems to be on these street races, Nelson. It always seems to be these close photo finish kind of battles going on. We saw it here. We saw it at Elkhart last year. We always see it at Rock Island.
Yeah.
Great job by Mike to get that trophy and come from behind and get that win. Another driver I kind of wanted to touch on, and it's not a QC driver, but, a Quincy driver, Riley Scott. And I know the Scott family is pretty well known in the karting community around Quincy and at TNT Kartway and such. wanted to say congratulations to him on getting his first Gussie. That's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, and which class was that he won?
That was the 206 medium class.
206 medium, yeah.
First class of the day.
Yeah, and they had about 25-ish entries in that race?
Yeah, I think there's 20, 25 in that race.
Yeah, so definitely, and those medium guys, too, got a lot of quality entries in that field, so quite the accomplishment to Mr. Scott.
Oh, yeah, he was still racing against Tony Nielsen and Michael Welsh and those guys, and there was another guy up there whose name sounded familiar. Can't remember who it was, but yeah, he did a fantastic job to get the win there, and I'm sure his dad Jeff is pretty proud of him, as well as his sister as well. So just a fantastic weekend probably for those guys, and Jeff Scott actually, he got the feature win Saturday in the sprint race.
Okay.
So he got a win as well. So pretty cool weekend for that family.
Yeah.
Being the local crowd, we know how much it means to local guys here at Rock Island when they get a win there. It's got to be the same for the guys in Quincy. You got to imagine. But with that, I think that's probably all we have to say about a fantastic weekend.
For the most part, did you want to talk about our individual experiences at all, or did you want to move on to what's coming up? I guess?
I'll let you talk a little bit about your individual experience, and I'll talk a little bit about mine for the park.
Okay. So, yeah, I basically approached Quincy as a just survive type of deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be competing in the 206 Cup for the first time this weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not want to break the cart. My girlfriend was at the track.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare her. So, I was approaching this as I've got to take this easy. Yet, from almost the first practice session, I realized I had some speed.
Yeah.
I only did heavy, 30-plus entries in that, and I realized I was solidly in the midfield. It's like, all right, what else can I do with this card? So, come Sunday morning qualifying, I get like 13th of the 31, and then in the race, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to do anything too crazy.
Yeah.
But I scraped the wall, so I bent my steering column, which just feels awkward to drive with, as I'm sure everyone else is familiar with that has had that happen. And then my seat began to crack on the left, which going through the fat medium to high-speed right-handers, it honestly felt like I was going to fall out of my seat. So
I bet.
I had to clench my body, grab my seat, and grab my steering wheel and all that to keep from falling out. Very, very intense. And I still managed to hold on to 12th.
Well, very good weekend with all those problems holding on to 12.
Oh, yeah.
And
I just want to add, I think if I didn't have those issues, I could have been in the lower half of the top 10, I believe.
Yeah. So, I'll go on into my week, and I'm sure some of you have probably seen the picture and the video of the feature race. But I'll start out with the beginning. I was kind of going into it with the just survive mentality like you, Nelson. Obviously, I'm trying to run the 206 Cup too this weekend. I've never been to the park. I've heard a lot of stories about, how dangerous it could be. So I just wanted to get through the weekend, without having any incidents happen. And the competitors around me made it really hard to make that happen. At one point in practice, there was a couple Top Kart guys that wrecked each other. A couple teammates that had wrecked each other, which was kind of funny. I kind of laughed at that. But, some of the chaos that went on in the medium race on Sunday, there was a cart that had spun out in front of me and Chad Peppers at one point, and I almost nailed Chad into the wall behind the guy, but thankfully we were both able to get off the gas and whoa up a little bit. Escaped without damage there. At one point in practice on Saturday, I actually kissed the wall with the left rear tire, and I thought for sure I was going to bend an axle there. Didn't. Escaped that one. And then, of course, on the feature race Sunday, I sharded my pants because the driver of the top cart in front of me, Bill McLaughlin was his name. He flipped. had the cart pointed to the inside to miss him, but it kicked out my rear end enough where it sucked me into the wall just a little bit. And so I had to pull off the wall, and I missed hitting him as he flew out of his cart. I missed hitting him by, it had to be a half an inch now. I mean, it was close. That's probably the scariest moment for me all weekend.
I honestly think that could probably be the scariest moment for everyone all weekend. If you look at how catastrophic that could have been if, he, fell out of his cart sooner or you weren't able to correct as soon as you did.
Yeah. But to me, I told a couple people had seen it and came up to me and were like, wow, after the race. To me, all it was a blue blob when it happened. When I went back and looked at the video, I realized what actually could have been. But, it was a scary wreck.
Because when that stuff happens, you're not really thinking, what is it that I'm about to hit? You're trying to think, what can I do to avoid whatever this is I'm about to hit?
Yeah. So, I ended up finishing 9th in that race. Pretty good run. I was a little off on the setup. Like you said, lower half of the top 10. With a little bit of luck, I was able to get in that lower half of the top 10. Almost passed David Bollentrager on the last lap. Unfortunately, I made kind of a dumb move and cut to the inside. But overall, good weekend. I'm happy I didn't break anything because I came close to breaking a lot of crap this weekend.
And if you're interested in seeing how exactly our championship races played out, yours is uploaded currently on YouTube, which has been floating all around Facebook. And then you're going to upload the footage.
Yeah, so I'm uploading the onboard footage from your onboard, Nelson, and Nick Oakenfels' onboard, as well as my onboard from the medium race I'll upload. The title of those videos will be Sights and Sounds Onboard with whichever driver we're on board with.
Yeah.
Not the usual commentary videos I do, but I think Quincy's so big, I didn't, you don't have enough cameras to cover it. And I think it's kind of neat to just ride along with the driver every once in a while and see how the whole race plays out. So
definitely,
those videos will be uploaded. Hopefully, Nelson's will be uploaded by the end of the day today, and then I'll get Nick's uploaded tomorrow, and maybe my other one uploaded tomorrow.
Yes. Now, and I just want to add too. Not only will the fans appreciate that, but I think fellow racers will that want to do this next year that didn't do it this year, because probably one of my biggest concerns going into this race was the lack of any footage of this event.
Yeah.
Because you could only find stuff back when it was run in the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, no, I want to know what I'm getting into. And Margay, even though they had their test, they didn't release any onboard footage.
Yeah.
So, I think... the other racers that haven't done this yet that want to will really appreciate you uploading these videos.
Yeah, and hopefully, like you said, we went in kind of unprepared this year, knowing what the track was even going to be like. Hopefully, this will help prepare guys that have never been there next year to be more prepared than we were. Obviously, I want them to take the same cautions we did the first time, and we'll be taking the same cautions when we return because it'll be a completely green racetrack, and street races are never quite set up the same twice around. So, but hopefully it helps get more people out there and get them more experience before you even have to hit the track.
Yeah.
That concludes our Quincy segment, though. Big part of the weekend. Of course, the first round in Triple Crown. Those results have not yet been posted as far as the Triple Crown goes. But the next stop there will be Elkhart, which is over a month and a half away, so racers have time to fix their stuff and get ready for that.
Though, if you want to look ahead to big racing karting events, don't forget about the Brickyard Grand Prix, which was originally being considered for part of the Triple Crown.
Well, it is technically still part of the Margay Ignite Triple Crown.
Okay.
So those guys, you're very right. They have less than a month to really get ready for that event.
Yeah.
For the Margay Ignite guys, that'll be their second round in the Triple Crown. For everybody else, it'll be at Elkhart because Margay will not be at Elkhart for the Ignite class. But, so check out that battle at the Brickyard. I know you're going, Nelson.
Definitely. I can't miss Indianapolis.
Yeah, I wish I could go. Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to go.
I could lend you a nose. I could lend you a sit-up seat.
What about side pods?
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I could give you those old blue ones I had on the Coyote.
And that is why I will not be running the Battle at the Brickyard, because I don't have bodywork and a sit-up seat. And I love the seat I have right now, so I'm not remounting a seat ever in a million years, ever. I love the seat I have right now. I don't think I could get it back in the position of perfectness.
Why don't you just marry it then, Joseph?
I did. We got hitched last week, and didn't you see the wedding pictures?
Oh, gosh. How does... Okay, I don't think I want any... I don't want any more details about that.
Tonight, very exciting kickoff of the summer series at the Davenport Kartway, Nelson, and that starts... practice starts down there, I believe, at 5 or 6 o'clock to get that thing started off. I think we're both going to go down and watch the races. Kind of wanted to compete in it, but with it falling where it did in the racing calendar, it didn't really work out very well. Got to repair from Quincy and then get set up for 206 Cup this next weekend.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of turnaround time. I think a lot of people still haven't looked at their carts from Quincy yet.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but with the tire restrictions there, I just don't have the MG Reds that they tell you to run there.
Yeah, I know. I know there's a couple guys like me in that boat with the MG Reds, Nelson, and then I think the big deal though this week was getting the cart ready in 2 to 3 days, and then getting it ready again in another 2 to 3 days if you want to get a 206 Cup. So just kind of a struggle there. Hopefully they can maybe plan that out a little bit better next year. But we'll go down and see what the cart turnouts are like. Hopefully they're pretty good. Fingers crossed. But this is the first race in a 3-round series in the summer for Davenport Kartway. The other 2 dates are when, Nelson? I see you have the schedule posted.
Yes, I do. June 27th and July 18th.
And those are all on Wednesday evenings. So, very unique in the racing schedule. Normally, you're always racing on a weekend. It'll be kind of cool if I can get out to one of these to race in the middle of the week.
Yeah, and of course, with this being later in the day, these won't quite be night races by the look of it.
Nope.
But these will be kind of like dusk evening races, which should be quite the spectacle.
Yeah, I gotta imagine they might be doing a little bit different format for you. I'm sure we'll find that out when we go tonight, what the format exactly is.
Yeah.
But hopefully, so I went out to Davenport a couple weeks ago, Nelson, tried to get a live broadcast going, couldn't. Maybe I can try again this week and see if there's like an internet connection of some kind I can hook onto. Otherwise, I wouldn't bank on there being a live radio broadcast from there, but keep your eyes open. Maybe we'll figure something out.
Yeah, to be announced, as it were. We something might be able to work. Issues may come up. It's certainly an interesting prospect.
Yeah.
But another thing to note about this Ken Williams Memorial Summer Series, as it is fully known, over the course of this 3-race series, the Yamaha Senior and Briggs Senior will pay $500 to each champion.
Yeah, which is a pretty good incentive to run. If you ask me, 3 races and $500, and you build championship points on each of them. Kind of like the Triple Crown deal in a way.
I suppose so.
Not a money paying for the Triple Crown, but you do get a trophy and stuff for doing it, and points accumulate. So it'll be kind of cool to see how that happens. We've asked our friend Carter Pease if he's racing.
Oh, jeez,
but we haven't found out yet. Hopefully we'll see a couple guys down there racing. Maybe Gage Kemp will be there because I know he's not racing at 206 Cup this weekend. He's going to be going into Iowa Speedway instead. Can you believe that?
Iowa Speedway? What's going? Oh, is this for NASCAR?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nelson. Nelson's dissing the NASCAR.
I'm not dissing the NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that, Nelson.
I'm just dissing his absence is what I'm dissing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, he's welcome to go to Iowa Speedway or wherever the hell else he wants to, as long as it doesn't conflict with racing. But, okay, Gage, have fun. Have fun watching racing instead of actually racing.
Oh, wow. Taking some shots there. Anyway, moving on this weekend, 206 Cup at 61 Kartway. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Nick's going to be there. Morgan's going to be there. The 206 Cup guys are going to be there. It's going to be a pretty good field, I think, at 61 Kartway for their first ever night race, which will be pretty cool to be part of.
Which, this is going to be a full-fledged night race. Because looking at the schedule, it says that the Saturday features will not begin until 9 p.m. Which, if you're in the area, you'll note that's almost when the sun has fully set.
Yeah.
So, this is not, quote-unquote night racing with the sun going down. This will be legitimately racing at night.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long day for the racers out there at 61 on Saturday because 1:30 p.m. is the first practice session, 5 o'clock is the first heats, and then, like you said, the features at 9. That's at least a 9-hour day of racing for these guys. I don't see the features getting done until 10. But it's going to be fun. And, some of these guys may be glad that we're starting later in the day because it's supposed to be a roasting 95 degrees on Saturday without humidity.
Wow, okay. Well, I was going to say that does sound absolutely brutal and horrible, Joseph.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that 61 Kartway is on top of a hill.
Yeah.
That usually cools it down. You get more wind up there, and, of course, with the elevation. So, don't let the heat scare you away, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. There's always a nice breeze at 61 because it's out in the middle of a farm, and there's just always a nice steady breeze keeping the drivers cool throughout the weekend. The tires will be grippy, though. There will be lots of guys, I'm sure, trying to loosen their karts up this weekend on track. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of guys up there Friday practicing as well, Nelson.
I'll definitely be a part of that Friday group. I want to see how loose I can get this damn thing. I'm honestly not expecting to be too competitive with the inherently tight nature of my chassis.
Yeah.
But I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Some of the guys I wanted to highlight that are part of 206 Cup, Justin Wishart, obviously. He'll be racing. I think Grant Zimmerman will be there. And then I don't know if Jordan Bernlohr is still doing it or not. I haven't seen him pop up in any of the heavy results lately. But those are just some of the stars we expect to see at 61 this weekend, and the local boys are going to try and show them how it's done. I've been trying to, I think Jesse Clossy's going to come down, but he was trying to get Tony the Tiger the other day to come down as well. So
Tony the Tiger.
Unfortunately, he's the race director for the event. So
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, that's what Jesse was calling him. I call him something different.
What do you call him, Joseph?
I got in trouble the other day.
Yesterday,
Joseph, for calling him it.
Joseph, what do you call him? You have to say it.
I don't have to say nothing.
If you say it, I'll tell you what I call him. What I called him at Quincy.
What did you call him at Quincy?
You say your thing, and I'll say my thing.
Moving on.
I called him Todd.
Moving on.
There was a miscommunication. Apparently, they thought he was Todd Nielsen at Quincy.
That was pretty funny because they messed up his name like 3 times.
They really did. They're like, "Here's your winner, Todd Nielsen."
And
Todd, what does it feel like? Oh wait, this is Tony.
And everybody looked down at the announcers table like, "You know who this is? This is the 3rd time you've interviewed him today. I don't know why this is a problem for you. You'd think you see a winner enough times in a day and be like, here's Tony." But no, they were like Todd. It's kind of like the Justin Wishart deal last year at Rack Island. They kept calling him Wizard all day long. It was like, he's not a wizard. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, with those skills, Justin Wizard the Wishart. Justin Wishart the Wizard.
Yeah, he is pretty fast. He might have some magic potions he's been spraying on tires. And stuff.
All right. You know what? I think we need to get a poll going or something on Facebook. What is the most creative racing
name you've ever heard for a karter? Yeah. I think we'll do that. Radio Kart poll.
Yeah.
And so moving on, Sunday, 61 206 Cup will also be there. They'll start around 9 a.m., which is going to be an early wake-up call for the drivers and teams because Well, we go all the way to 10, and then by the time you get loaded, probably 11. You're going to be running on the edge of 8 hours of sleep that night if you get to bed on time.
8 hours is plenty, Joseph.
That's the recommended amount of sleep, 8 hours.
It really is.
Yeah. So
Although
they'll be well rested then for Sunday and ready to go on a day that's supposed to be even hotter than Saturday. 96 degrees is the forecast for Sunday.
Fun. Well, I've been doing a lot of endurance training lately, so
It'll come in handy.
Yeah.
I do want to stress to everybody though that is coming to the races, coming out to watch or participate. Keep drinking fluids all weekend long. We were at Quincy last week and it was a hot one, Nelson.
Oh yeah.
You had to push the fluids all weekend long to keep yourself in a good racing condition, racing shape. It really helps if you're able to do that. With that, I think that's about everything we have to talk about in our show today. Kind of a quick episode, but there's so much excitement from Quincy. We didn't want to leave that out, and we were worried about having a lot more material to talk about.
And we still haven't gotten fully official results from 61 Kartway yet either to go over.
Yeah, from race 5 a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Actually, let me check something really quick here.
We do have the winners. They did post the winners on Facebook, I believe, didn't they?
I actually think they might have posted most of the full results on Facebook, but they haven't updated their
My Laps.
Exactly, yeah. So this would have been results from June 3rd, right?
Yes.
All right, then yeah, we actually have full results for you if you want to go off of this.
Okay, yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's start down with Kid Kart. You had Thierry Pavlonis beating out Owen Metzger. And then in Junior 1 206, a strong 6-kart field with Nicholas Peppers taking the checkered flag over Carter Nelson. Junior Supercan saw Josh Carlson win, and that he shared the track for the lone senior Supercan of Aaron Dunn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Junior 2 206 was yet another healthy and competitive field of 6 karts, which saw Ashton Wheeler win over Bryce Shaw and Kayla Carlson. Senior 206, probably one of the biggest fields that we've seen all year with 12 karts.
Oh, yeah.
Chad Peppers walk away from the rest of the field, but quite the battle between the second to midfield of Gage Kemp, Morgan Schuler, Carter Pease, Nick Ockenfels, our very own Joseph Frapp, and myself, Nelson Ulinski, back in 7th.
Yeah, that midfield battle was certainly one that was really tight. Got to feel for Peppers a little bit after pulling away from everybody last weekend or 2 weekends ago at 61 Kartway, and then he had a lot of troubles in Quincy as far as getting run into and stuff like that. So
you know what? That reminds me of something.
Yeah.
Just as we were leaving 61, that June 3rd there, I remember saying, because I was dealing with a lot of issues that day. That's why I finished down at 7th. I think I said to you, I'm like, you know what? I really hope I got all of this stupid bad luck out of my system before Quincy.
Yeah.
And I think I pretty much did.
Yeah. Yeah, you always, and that's the one thing about club racing, right before a street race like that. If you have a bad day, you go, well, at least I got it all out of the way for next week, so. And
I think the other way around happened for Chad.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chad did not have that fortunate luck that we had.
Yeah.
But
hey, good for him in the points picture at 61 anyways.
Yeah,
picked up some good points with that win.
I believe he's technically considered the points leader right now. If we factored in drops, he would be.
I'm not exactly sure how all that works with the drops.
Yeah, but I think without drops right now, you're still in first, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't updated points on the My Laps.
Right.
But if I'm not, it's incredibly close between me and Gage, I believe.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just double check. I think I've got this up. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, oops, wrong thing. Yeah, as you can tell, this is not the most orchestrated show at the moment. Yeah. Oh, they updated it. They did.
Yeah.
I believe they did here. Yes, they did. And, oh my God.
5 points?
5
points separating first and second right now.
Yeah, and this was without drops. Chad Peppers is only 10 points behind the championship leader. Oh my gosh. That is literally only 10 points separating the top 3.
Yeah. It's gonna be close this year at 61, folks. You gotta come out and watch, because it's pretty hair raising.
And just for reference, you're back and forth, Joseph. 235 points behind me.
I have 2 zeros in there.
Yeah, you do. Anyways.
And Gage has a 0 in there.
Yeah.
And Chad has a DNF in there.
Oh, yes.
So we'll see how these points play out. But it's close right now. Hopefully, that double points event.
Yeah, that'll
make a huge difference, I think. But there's your updated results from 61 Kartway.
Yeah, nice to get that in at the end there. I really didn't. I thought we were going to have to wait till next week to report that to you.
Yeah. I will be getting the highlight video from 61 from that last race posted either at the end of this week or at the beginning of next week. Need to get that posted so you guys can see what really happened with all the frustration that was going on track. Kind of interpret for yourselves what happened. But I'll get that posted here in the upcoming weeks. Keep your eye out for that, and possibly a live broadcast here from Davenport Kartway. But until next time, so long, everybody.
Yeah, and if you're free this weekend, tonight, go check out the racing at Davenport Kartway.